So first accessory organ that we're going to look at is the pancreas. The pancreas has an exocrine function. It produces pancreatic juice. It's very important in aiding with digestion. That's why it's called an accessory organ. It's not part of the alimentary canal. It's not part of that straight shot tube. It's an accessory organ off to the side that is going to produce digestive juices that's going to empty into the top part of your small intestine. So when we're looking at actual digestion, this top part of your small intestine is very important for added juices that help with digestion and the actual breaking down of different things. So actually, if I look over here, here's my pancreatic duct. So here's where my pancreatic juices are going to empty into the small intestine. Here's my bile duct that's going to come from my liver or gallbladder, and it's going to empty in the same area. So at this top part of the small intestine is where a lot of your accessory organs empty. So our pancreas is closely associated with the small intestine. The cells that produce pancreatic juice are called pancreatic acinar cells, and that's the main part of your pancreas. These acinar cells cluster around tiny little tubes, and then those tubes merge and make bigger ones, similar to your blood vessels. And then they give rise to that larger pancreatic duct that empties into your small intestine. The pancreatic duct and the bile duct join and empty. That's the picture I just showed you. They join and empty into the small intestine at the same area, and it's called the hepatopancreatic sphincter. Hepatic or hepato deals with liver, and that's where your bile duct is going to come from. And then pancreatic deals with pancreas. Pancreatic juice contains enzymes that digest carbohydrates, fats, proteins, and nucleic acids. You hear a lot about insulin coming from the pancreas. Insulin is very important for carbohydrate digestion. Protein digesting enzymes are released. When they're released, they're inactive. Zymogen granules, probably don't need to know that part. And then they're activated when they reach the small intestine. So these protein digesting enzymes are inactive when they leave the pancreas, but as soon as they reach the small intestine, they become active. Enterokinase activates trypsinogen to trypsin, and these are your enzymes. So this is like the steps of that process. So this enterokinase is what activates it, and then trypsinogen becomes trypsin. On your next test, I will have animations. Make sure you watch, like I believe this is one of them. Make sure you watch those animations because it will be very helpful throughout the test. So if we look specifically at some of the enzymes, pancreatic amylase. Amylase, there's also found in your saliva. Any kind of amylase is going to break down carbohydrates. So pancreatic amylase is going to break down carbohydrates into disaccharides, which are sugars. Lipase or lipase, lipids, deals with fats. So they're going to break down triglycerides to smaller fatty acids and glycerol. Nuclease is going to break down nucleic acids into smaller pieces, which are called nucleotides. And then trypsin, that was on the last slide, chymotrypsin and carboxypeptidase break down proteins. So anything with your trypsin part of it or peptide part of it will deal with protein. And then if we look at nervous and endocrine systems are going to work together, and secretin from the duodenum, and when we get to the small intestine, the duodenum is that top part, the first part of the small intestine. So secretin from the duodenum is what stimulates the release of this pancreatic juice. Pancreatic juice has a large bicarbonate ion concentration, so very alkali. This is not acidic. It's a very alkali concentration. Not much as far as digestive enzymes. So this bicarbonate is a base, and it's going to help neutralize the acidity of the chyme that's coming from the stomach. Cholecytokinin from the small intestine also helps to stimulate the release of pancreatic juice, and there's where the digestive enzymes come from. So secretin, bicarbonate ions. Cholecytokinin releases the actual digesting part of the pancreas. So here's what happens. Here's my stomach, and my chyme is going to come into this top part of my small intestine. Bicarbonate ions are going to be released to help neutralize. Chyme is very acidic, so bicarbonate is going to help neutralize it. Secretin is what helps to release that. And then these pancreatic juices are going to enter and cause that to happen. So there you can kind of see the picture or the diagram that goes through. And we'll stop there with the pancreas.